when I look at things that sort of happened in my career, like I'm lucky in a way because, not to say that these moments are famous around the world, but there's a couple of sort of iconic moments that I was involved in, and that's another one. We knew we were going to be, again, up against it like most of the games, and as you say, they were like they still are obviously, but they were a real powerhouse of Japanese football, and they were the best side over the previous couple of seasons. It was a pretty wet night. I remember there was a bit of drizzle and a rain about, and we, as you say, we were only just starting our season, but we went ahead early. Travis Dodd scored a really, really good header, and I don't think we were really expecting to get much out of that game. So when we went a goal up, that obviously gave us a lot of confidence. At that time, I think I was still playing as a right back. I spent a lot of time playing at right back in those early years of my career, even though I was quite tall. It was a bit of an in-swinging ball, and I think there was a man behind me. I had to just clear it away on my left foot. It was late on in the first half, and it just sort of skidded off the surface, then skidded off the top of my foot. I didn't really make any sort of meaningful contact. Obviously, I got enough on it to guide it into the bottom corner, but yeah, obviously I was really, really disappointed. Such a huge game, the biggest game in the club's history at the time, and a young player to do that on such a big stage was really disappointing. But still had a second half to play, and we knew, if we could get away with a draw, then that would give us a chance going into the second leg. Oh yeah, it's massive. I mean, looking back on those days now, not just the Kashima game, but in particular the Bunyodkor game. Whenever we got back from overseas, it was like, the Bunyodkor game in particular, there was like hundreds of people at the airport welcoming us back, and the Kashima game, we were watching vision of the pubs in Adelaide, and the bars were like full of people going to watch it. And as you say, it was the hottest ticket in town. We knew that midweek clash at Highmarsh, it became like people still talk about it now. People still say, remember when in the ACL runs, the crowds we used to get on a Tuesday, Wednesday night. It was just phenomenal. And leading into the game, it wasn't something like I was thinking, okay, I have to score to. If I was a striker, yeah, probably I would have been thinking, yeah, all right, I have to score to make up for my mistake or my penalty miss or my whatever happened. But as a defender, I was just thinking, listen, let's keep it a clean sheet. Obviously, if we can get away with a result and go through, everyone's going to forget about my mistake anyway. But to be the one that scored, I mean, it's just one of those things in sport where it was just sort of meant to be. Like, for whatever reason, it happened. If it was going to happen, it was only going to happen that way, and thankfully it did. Yeah, well, I was out on that right-hand side, and a little bit earlier in the build-up, I had the ball inside the opposition half out on the right-hand side, and I played it centrally and sort of started drifting forward, and the ball came into the middle, and I remember Paul Reed had a strike from range, which the keeper sort of beat away. I just took a risk, and I managed to ghost in on the inside of the left full-back. I don't think he saw my run and picked me up, and the ball just sort of went over the top of a couple of players and just sort of fell to me, and it was a half diving header, almost like a falling header, and I knew if I kept it down, it would be difficult for the keeper to save, and in the end it only just went to the side of him, and I think the fact that I did header it down into the ground made it difficult for him, and again it sort of just skidded on, and he just parried it into the back of the net, and then from there obviously I was just went into sort of pandemonium. And the most memorable thing I think about that goal was my family used to sit in that corner, and I ran like literally 3 or 4 meters away from them. So that was obviously really special to be able to celebrate it right in front of them. It's just a wonderful memory. I had scored in that competition already, and I'd scored in the league and things, but never in that manner. Obviously, it's usually a set piece. I'm trying to think of goals throughout my whole career now that I'm retired that I've scored in open play, and there's probably, I can't actually think of any. I don't know if I've ever scored from open play other than that goal now that I really think about it. Actually felt like the whole city was behind us, and everyone was talking about it, and it was a real, like, we were the real flavour of the month, I suppose, and to be a young player coming through and experiencing that, It was unreal. And I actually lived with Scott Jamieson at the time, who was another guy that was in the squad with me. And yeah, we still speak about it now whenever we do chat. That those were just some of the best days of our career, and we had them so early on.